Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me. Just call on me.
Welcome to ESBN. This is the Kool-Aid Monster Cup series, and we are bringing you here today from Watkins, Glen. I am joined by Damon Lester in the booth. My name's Joseph Lester, and we're here to bring you a good show.
Absolutely, Joseph. You know, we were talking to one of the drivers before the race, and apparently these cars are very snappy loose. So you have to really be careful on throttle here. So probably going to be tiptoeing through the first couple laps till they get the tires sort of worn in, and then they'll probably settle in, and we'll get hopefully some exciting racing here at the Glen. It's usually the better of the road courses, in my opinion, with the high speed and with the bus stop there on the backstretch. So looking forward to some great action tonight.
Yeah, definitely. The 11 turns here, really unique to each corner. None of them are really the same, and that brings some of the best racing you'll see at a road course.
Absolutely. As we ride here on board with Chris Pendle, he gets his lap in here in qualifying.
He'll go to the top of the boards, and Greg Wood, as I say that, knocks him off about a whole second quicker.
Yeah, Chris was fast in practice. James Santoyo was also fast in practice. So just curious to see what kind of laps these guys put down tonight.
Oh yeah, certainly, and these guys are going to have to use a little more brake than they have the past couple of weeks. Could this play into guys' hands that usually aren't the fastest on the ovals, but have a little more experience on those road courses?
Absolutely, you're gonna come into. There are guys who are way better on road courses than they are the ovals, and vice versa. So we'll see maybe some different faces at the top of the pack tonight, and look forward to see these guys get out there. So it's definitely going to be a different animal from what we've seen. We've had some caution field races the first couple races this year, but tonight we won't see as many cautions being on a road course. So definitely going to be a different animal tonight.
It sure will, and it's really going to be a test of endurance. I know the Bathurst 12 hours going on right now for iRacing, and those guys are really struggling to find grip through the downhill section. And that's something you'll see throughout the race today, is these cars don't have as much grip as even the GT3s. Even though we might compare it to a GT3 and the way it drives, there's not as good of brakes, and there's not as much downforce.
And you mentioned the downhill. Well, we have our own downhill section here at Watkins Glen as they're coming down the front stretch into turn one. You know, that's usually a trouble spot, but will we see a little action there today? You know, we see it usually there in the Cup Series. So we'll definitely have to see what's going on here as James Santoyo jumps up to second quick.
Yeah, he really set some good laps. He's coming around here to complete his second lap. Oh, he gets really loose out of the corner. He was about 4 tenths up on his last lap, and then he just got loose. But a 1:12.6, not that bad. But still, the class of the field, Greg Wood Jr., 1:12.3, as almost double the lap times you saw last week at Las Vegas because of how long and technical a road course is compared to an oval.
Yeah, and I think James Santoyo would have had just a little bit faster lap his second lap there, but I think he got a little wide in turn one, and that invalidated his lap, it looks like. So, but still starting second at Watkins Glen, and that's still going to be a good starting spot to get away of. I'm pretty sure we'll probably see some mayhem maybe in the first couple of laps.
Yeah, I definitely think so. But after that, it might calm down a little bit. But it'll just be interesting to see how these guys take advantage of a road course like this.
As you can see here, as we're on board, getting just a little wide. As you can hear him get through, he'll get through the gears here as we go through the S's. As we were talking earlier with Angel Santiago, driver of the 90, he was telling us that through the S's, they're in fifth gear, but if they get a little too much throttle, that it just wants to come around on them. So that'll definitely be a spot for us to watch tonight as this race goes on.
Yeah, it sure will. And something you'll see today that you won't see at other tracks is that back end. It wants to get loose on exit, entry, and center. And if you are able to contain those right rear tires and save them a little bit for the long run, you're going to be a car to beat.
Absolutely, that's what they want. They want to be that car to beat, and the whole the tires this year are wider, so you'd think they would have more grip, but this car is just completely different from what we've had here in the past. So, but it's more. I mean, if you look at the GT3 cars or GT4 cars, this car is very similar to those. May not have as much downforce on the rear spoiler area, but these cars definitely are similar to a GT3, GT4 car that you might see on road course racing now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Now we got about a minute left in qualifying here, so let's try and see if we can get Greg Wood, our pole sitter, in here. Hey Greg, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Sure do.
Hey man, what a great lap. About 3 tenths faster than the field. What did you do on that lap that separated yourself from everybody else?
Honestly, you don't. Everybody seems to think that you got to run hard coming to the green flag. I just kind of gingerly Sunday drive it until I come to the green flag, then I go for it. Biggest key is just backing your turns up. I mean, the driving line is the one for a lot of these drivers, including myself. But yeah, if you wait till the red zone to brake, you're definitely driving in too hard. So I'm more of a back my turns up and roll it through the center kind of person.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, we see that a lot at these road courses, is people taking that driving line and using it to their advantage, something you don't see in real life. But it really does help racers out on iRacing get a like memorization of where to brake.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I always run it for reference because I don't use points on the wall. It's easier if I stay looking at the track than looking at the wall for my braking zone. So I just keep it on. I mean, I don't follow it, but I keep it on just to know, okay, well, the red line's coming up. I need to brake beforehand.
Oh yeah,
Well, good. Yeah, for sure. And you know, as you mentioned, Greg, you sort of back your corners up. And sometimes you have to go slow to go fast. But good luck tonight, and we'll let you get back with your team.
Alrighty, thank you.
That was Greg Wood, the driver of the number 78 Toyota. And man, he told us just back up those corners and you'll see the difference.
Yeah, so it looks like we had several drivers who decided to save it for the race and didn't even take a qualifying time. So I figure they were just looking forward to the race, but we'll get ready to get started here.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, we're about to go green here, so can't wait for that. These guys will still have to go around the long pace lap, and we do have stages at lap 10 and lap 20, but there won't be any cautions, something you won't see at places like a Bristol or a Daytona. Those tracks you'll see a caution, but at a track like a road course, you're really not wanting to bunch the field back up together, because that's really just not about what road racing is about.
Yeah, we'll see how many laps it takes for these guys to get settled in, but certainly looking forward to an exciting race tonight. And these guys are getting gridded up, and we'll be going green here soon.
Yeah, we will. And as these drivers are about to roll off, um, last week we saw a crazy race at Chicago. What was your favorite part of that race?
Getting some green flag runs toward the end of the race. That was really we were able to see these guys, show what these cars had, and I enjoyed the green flag racing toward the end of the race. And I know these guys are hoping that we have a less eventful night here today at Watkins Glen.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I mean, they might want it to be less eventful, but sometimes that's just what you need, and it's best not to get yourself up in early crashes and just make it to the end, get some clean racing and calm racing in before you um either make a mistake and get a little bit on the grass and spin, something like that. But it's a road course, so like this is one of the toughest tracks, and we'll just have to see how this goes.
Absolutely, as we see them coming through the bus stop right now, coming down that back stretch. The key is to get through here and get through this carousel, which will give them a launch down to hit turns 10 and 11, which puts them back on this long front stretch down into that turn 1, which is always action filled here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah,
Well,
it
let's get ready to
is.
go through the field here and get our starting lineup before we go green.
Yeah. So in first we'll have Greg Wood, second James Santoyo, third Christopher Pendle, fourth David Orfano, fifth Greg Kavoyek, sixth Nathan Estep, seventh Craig Sassamon, eighth Angel Santiago, ninth Ira Kohlhaas, and 10th Jonathan Cogswell.
In 11th, we have Bill Sleet. 12th, Dave Modespaw. 13th, Ron Morris Jr. 14th, Zachary Woods. 15th, Nathan Luck. 16th, Zachary Cleek. And here we go, green flag.
We're green flag racing down into turn 1. Greg Wood and James Santoyo trying to inch side by side into this corner. And it looks like Greg Wood got on the curb a little bit. You don't want to do that. It could upset your car.
Also had Dave Modespaw, who got really wide in turn 1.
Yeah, in some corners it's best to carry a little speed and maybe overrun it for like F1 standards. But at tracks like, or with these cup cars, you you can
Oh,
really
Chris
abuse the track
Chris
limits.
Pendle misses the bus stop. He gets it back on track going into the carousel, and he'll fall back to about the 5th position.
Oh, looked like we had something go on back here. So Craig looked to be fine. He took the outside here, and it looks like it might have just snapped on him. Yeah, you heard it in practice and qualifying. These guys were really struggling for grip, and you saw it there. He just snapped.
Yeah, I hate that for Craig. He had a pretty decent practice time and was looking to be pretty competitive tonight.
Now the 9 of James Santoyo and the 78 of Greg Wood kind of reminds me of the old Martin Truex Jr. Chase Elliott battles here.
Yep, we do have the 78 up front and the 9 right on his bumper, so we'll see how that happens. And Chris Pendle misses the bus stop again.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw a blanket over Greg Wood and James Santoyo. That's really interesting to see. And oh, we see Christopher Pendle sideways back here. Let's see what happened.
And while you're mentioning that, it looks like Greg Wood gets into the wall coming out of turn 11, which allows James Santoyo to take the lead going into turn 1.
Yeah, looks like he just might have almost tagged the wall or tagged the wall. And it allowed James Santoyo to get by. Man, what an action-packed first few laps here at Watkins Glen.
Absolutely. You know, it's going to take these guys a little bit of time to get settled in. And then we'll get into, get some good racing. The front two are starting to separate themselves just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, James Santoyo, that last lap, ran the fastest lap of the race. So he's definitely starting to check out from the 78 of Greg Wood. We go back and look at David Orfano back here, just slowly closing in on third place of Nathan Estep. He's really been putting in some fast laps, almost matching our leader.
Just taking this time. I think the key to this track is to stay on track, not get off track and lose your momentum. And I think if you can put together a string of really clean laps, it's really going to give you a good finish here.
Yeah, it will. And sometimes at a track like this, you want to just take your time and ease into the race so you don't make that mistake. As a lot of drivers already have made a mistake and pretty much costed them the race already.
Yeah, absolutely. And we certainly don't want to see these guys not have a good race tonight. But this is a track. Like I say, every time we go to a track, it's going to be like going to it for the first time. Not only has Watkins Glen been updated since last season, but we've got this new car. So a lot of different variables tonight that are going to make this difficult. David Orfano is just inching in just ever so slightly on Nathan Estep.
Yeah, he is, and our leader's catching some lap traffic right here. I wonder if that could play into the 78 car Greg Wood maybe catching him. Well, it looks like he got by him pretty quickly there, so I don't think it was really going to affect him.
Yeah, going into the S's is probably one of the best places right before you get into the S's. Best place to catch someone. Definitely don't want to get behind somebody slow going through the chicane, which is what David Orfano is having to deal with right now in that lap car. So that'll certainly affect his lap time. But we'll see how he gets around that car. As James Santoyo just seems like he's putting down some good clean laps, and he's definitely uh, passing these lap cars with ease, and even made that pass on Greg Wood look simple. So
Yeah, I mean, he has put down fast laps, but as we were mentioning earlier, is he saving his tire or is he using it up a little too much?
I think it almost might benefit as we have another car. We just had another car, the 62 of Bill Sleep, just missed the turn 10 and got a little wide there.
Looks like Greg Wood might just be saving his tires a little bit. Last lap he was about 2/10 quicker than our leader, and that could play in. Oh, he saves it. Man,
He
what a
saves it.
save. I start speaking about him and that happens. Man.
Well, you just got to watch these like he was talking about before the race, watching your braking points, and now he's got to get settled back in.
Yeah, but this is a battle for second right here between him and Nathan Eastep. Will he just hold over for him, or will he continue to press? Because we're coming to 4 to go in the stage already.
Yeah, these laps are clicking off really, really fast.
Oh, he got
Oh
the
my
bumper! What a save! And he'll go very wide and into the
Gets
tire
into the
wall. Oh man, that just
Yeah, not sure exactly what happened there. Not sure if that was surely wasn't intentional. But Greg Wood did mention that he was braking earlier than the others, so maybe Nathan Eastep didn't expect him to be braking as soon. But definitely that's going to put Greg Wood behind the 8 ball here.
So it looked like the breaking points just weren't as similar, and Nathan Eastep just ran into him there. But you did see a little bit of a red glow from Nathan Eastep in his brake rotors. I wonder if his brakes are already having a little fade, and that could have played into it. But we see James Santoyo continue to lead. He has really put on a clinic today. Ever since he got by Greg Wood, who tapped the wall out in the final corner, he has been off and now has a huge lead over second of 6 seconds.
He's leading by 6.2 seconds. It's then another 10 seconds back to David Lorfano in third from the lead. And then it's almost 17 seconds back to Greg Wood in fourth.
Now it does look like we got some guys pretty close to each other back here. The 6 of Christopher Pendell, the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell, and the 29 of Ira Kohlhaas, who we saw dominate last week.
Certainly there's action all over the track, and we're certainly going to do the best we can to catch everything. But on a road course, it is sometimes a little difficult to catch everything when it happens. So, just
Yeah, it is, and I mean, it's just crazy how this has gone. But as we're on lap 9 of the first stage out of 10, Ira Kohlhaas has to be wanting to get up there and try to battle for the 7th position and get that extra point.
Absolutely. He's closing in. He's within a second of the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell.
Oh,
We'll
here's
see
a
if he can.
pass for 5th. It looks like Angel just might have let Christopher Pendel by, as he was a little bit faster. And oh, a big wiggle from Angel Santiago. And he lost a lot of time right there. And now Jonathan Cogswell is all up on him.
That's bringing Ira Kohlhaas right up behind him as well.
This is a great
Definitely.
battle for 6th with 1 to go in the stage. Coming to 1 to go, sorry.
And here we are on lap 10, the final lap of this stage. And as we mentioned earlier, there won't be a caution flag, but these guys will still get points for where they finish in this stage. It looks like the 27 of Jonathan Cogswell is this battle for 7th and 8th is still going on. It looks like he got into turn 1 a little hot, but he's able to keep on rolling and stay in that 7th position.
Yeah, and as we were talking, it looks like Eric Kohlhaas is really starting to close in on Jonathan Cogswell because of him overrunning the corner. Can he get by Jonathan before the end of this lap in the stage?
Doesn't look like he's going to be able to catch him, but I think just getting through these laps and ticking these laps off, that's what these guys are hoping to do, just to.
Now, we did see James Santoyo did win that stage, and now as we're coming out of the final corner, it looks like Jonathan Cogswell will edge out Eric Kohlhaas coming to the line here.
Yeah. As we talked to Ira last week, Ira certainly wanted, he's a smooth racer. He really likes to use that throttle. So I'd say watch him. He's gonna be there when it counts. So we still have a long way to go. It's a 40-lap race here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, we do. But one thing we got to start thinking about is pit strategy. Do you want to go for a 2-stop strategy and try to get a little bit fresher tires than the rest of the field? Or do you want to go for that 1-stop and pit around lap 22 or 23?
Well, I really believe in the iRacing world. I would rather make it a one-stop race because that would mean I only have one chance to make a mistake. And I think that would be the best option for these guys here tonight.
Yeah, I'd say so too. Just wanted to throw the conversation out there of that.
Here comes Greg Wood on the pit road. Looks like he may be going for the 2-stop strategy.
But let's turn the volume up a little bit and go on board with our leader, James Santoyo.
But you can hear him there really easy on the throttle. Almost pedaling it through 11 as we come down along the front straightaway. He gets down into 3rd gear. Get ready to hit the S's. And here he comes down the backstretch, coming out of the S's down into the chicane. And he's catching more of that traffic here, it appears. And so we have a little incident right there in front of him.
Sorry, I was having a little bit of technical difficulties there, and my mic wasn't working, but I got it fixed, and I'm
There
back.
we go.
So,
Oh, welcome back. We're just watching this lap with James Santoyos. We saw a little bit of incident there on the back stretch. And I don't even think Santoyo's going into fifth gear. He's going to fourth. You know, these new cars do have the option to you go into a fifth gear because we have more action there. Greg Woods in another incident.
yeah, just unfortunate for him. He had a lot of speed at the beginning. Just a lot of bad luck going his way.
Yeah, I mean, I think in this race, just focus on good clean laps. And it looks like the James Santoyo method is the fewer shifts you can make, the better. As he's only basically going into third and fourth.
Yeah, I think he drops it down to second into turn one, but other than that, he's really not changing gears that much. Let's see if we still have that battle for fifth going on with Jonathan Cogswell. And Angel Santiago. No, it's not that big of a battle anymore, as Angel Santiago has pulled it out by 2 seconds over Jonathan Cogswell. But I think they're just trying to make it to the end and try to get this road course over, as I'm sure these guys aren't really accustomed to road course racing. But as we see David Orfano getting through those S's, he is really just one of the smoother cars out there. You're seeing all the guys that have been really smooth and haven't put their car in trouble inching towards the front.
Absolutely, it's like we're going to keep saying it. It's about keeping that car clean, and taking your time, not necessarily making the fastest laps, but just surviving this race.
Oh yeah, and
Angel Santiago gets a little wide in the bus stop. That's going to give Jonathan Cogswell a look on the outside as they go through the carousel.
yeah, this is the most side-by-side racing we've seen since Greg Wood got passed by Angel Santiago, or not Angel Santiago, James Santoyo, but it looks like Angel's able to keep it there for the time being, but Jonathan Cogswell's not going to let him out of his sights for long.
Just noticing all the different drivers and their different driving styles. Angel Santiago there coming through turn 11 was all the way down into second gear, and we saw our leader, he, watching a lap with him, even going through turn 1, he only went as low as third gear. So I think that's the key with these cars is the less RPM change to help keep these tires under them and keep it from snapping loose.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are really just taking it calm, and they're not really snapping loose, as you were mentioning. But it looks like we got Ira Kohlhaas closing in on Jonathan Cogswell, as Cogswell was trying to get by Angel Santiago.
As Ira Kohlhaas is closing up in now on Jonathan Cogswell in the 27. We have these guys already getting into lap traffic, so that's definitely going to come into play here.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are really just trying to manage their cars, and then they're managing getting through traffic. It's really just a managing race. You got to manage everything and not let one mistake compound into multiple.
So Greg Wood, even though he's had the trouble, is in 10th place. He is a lap down. So that's definitely going to be hard to make up here at Watkins Glen with no.
Man, oh man, this battle for um 6 is heating up, and it's really starting to get interesting between Ira and Jonathan Cogswell.
As Ira Kohlhaas is closing in on him.
Yeah, he is. And
We're in some really a lot of lap traffic here.
yeah, they're managing through a lot of lap traffic, and it's really difficult at a track like this to get through the lap traffic. But let's hope they can keep it under wraps and not really have to deal with too much of it. But as we go back up to our leader, James Santoyo, he's about to win his second stage of the race. Could he maybe sweep the whole race if he can keep up like this? I think he can.
Definitely would be good if he would be able to do that. I just wanted to sort of mention the point standings after race 2. Christopher Pendle was our winner at Daytona. He is our points leader with 106 points. Ira Kohlhaas, our winner last week, just 1 point behind with 105 points. Third place in the points is John Garrett. Fourth place, Greg Wood. Fifth place, James Santoyo, which should really change after this. Sixth place is Alfred Denny. Seventh place, Sid Butler. Eighth place, Steve Rada. Ninth place, actually we have a tie for eighth. So Steve Rada, Kyle Harbin, and George Jewell all tied for eighth. And then 11th would be Zach Woods in our point standings so far this season.
Yeah, the point standings really are pretty close after 2 races. And let's hope they can keep that up and maybe have one of those crazy points regular season championships.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, just looking here, we've got several drivers who aren't with us tonight, so that certainly will, affect their standings just a little bit. But,
Well,
sometimes.
one thing different from real racing to this is you have something called a drop week. And if you use that drop week, you'll still get last place points, even if you don't show up.
Well, there you go. So, still will affect them a little bit, but not quite as much as, not getting any points at all. So it won't hurt those drivers as much, but James Santoyo definitely out to a commanding lead here, with almost a 20-second lead over second place. I'm sorry, 13-second lead over second place. Just clicking off laps, and I'm wondering, since we're coming to the end of the stage here, if he will pit this time, or if he'll wait and pit next lap to make sure that he gets those stage points.
Well, I mean, since there's not really a caution coming out, I guess you just run it as far as you can and get tires later. But even then, I think if he pitted, he'd still end up winning the stage.
Yeah, he probably would just have to roll across the line. But here he comes to take the stage 2 win.
And man, that's 2 straight stage wins, and James Santoyos is really starting to put it on him.
He's just picking them up and putting them down.
That last lap, Nathan Eastup was about 2 seconds faster, so that's a big advantage for him. He's got that gap down to 10 seconds now. Oh, and some big lap traffic here holding him up through the bus stop. I wonder if that lap traffic really had something to do with not as fast of a lap time.
Sure, yeah, there's been a lot of lap traffic, here for the last few laps. So here comes Greg Wood. He is on fresher. Oh, we have another car coming out of turn 9 there, get into the wall.
Now we do see our leader, James Santoyo, come down pit road, and a lot of guys starting to follow him. I wonder if they were running just long enough that they could get the stage points and then pit and get those fresh tires and split it in half.
Yeah, I feel pretty certain that's what they were doing. He got the stage win the previous lap, so he's not really going to lose anything. Nathan Eastep does take the lead here, staying out. But we'll just certainly have to see.
Nathan Eastep does have some clean track, so if he can put down one of his fast laps and Santoyo comes out with a little bit of traffic, he could gain some more time on our lead, or our previous leader, Santoyo.
Yeah, it looks like that even pitting, our stage 1 and stage 2 winner of James Santoyo only going to fall back to 4th here, even with pitting. So
yeah, he's about 30 seconds back there. So I think it'll come out right around 10 seconds once again, what it was. But here we go. We'll see Nathan Eastep drop down pit road. Can he get on pit road just a little bit faster than Santoyo while still not speeding and maybe gain a little time on him? David Orfano coming down to pit. Chris Pindell. I guess that'll hand our lead back over to James Santoyo.
yeah, here comes James Santoyo getting ready to come through turn 11. Down the front stretch. He's going to overtake all of these guys.
Yeah, because there's Santoyo, and Eastep is still down on pit road. Yeah, there he is, and
I think this is just going to increase Santoyo's lead over the field.
well, it looked like Eastep might have gained about a half a second down pit road. Not much, but continue to work on it, and if Santoyo maybe gets caught up in some lap traffic, he could close right back in.
James Santoyo looks like he's trying to run some pretty quick laps right now on these fresh tires to try to, make sure he maintains that lead that he had. It was 13 seconds when he pitted. Let's see where it ends up when he comes around and takes the green flag or takes the line. Looks like Nathan Eastep's just coming out of turn 9 right now as Santoyo's getting ready to come into turn 11 into the front stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think he gained about 4 seconds down on pit road.
We will see. Santos is now listed as our leader. We'll see where he comes out and where Nathan Eastep, how far behind he is.
Well, our leaderboard is saying 9.5 seconds.
So he cut 3 seconds off the lead through that transition of pitting a little bit early.
Yeah, and then we're seeing some lap traffic here he's running up on. maybe that might help Nathan Estep close in, as it's 9.2 now. You can barely see him coming out of the S's as he's heading into the bus stop there. It's down to 9 seconds now. He is really closing in on our leader. Maybe he was not showing everything he had at the beginning.
That very well could be the case, as Nathan Estep running some really clean laps here. I think the key right now for him is to keep it on track and see if he can track him down.
Yeah, it could be, and he's really running some of the faster lines. He kind of figured something out, and he's starting to close in. So let's switch it over to our last lap time. Nathan Estep crosses the line. That'll put him at a 1:13.2. James Santoyo ran a 1:13.4. So he's about 2/10 faster there that lap.
Does get a little wide coming through turn one.
Well, he's been doing that pretty much the whole race. I think he might have found a little bit of speed there. And now we're seeing a little more lap traffic, so it's not over until it's over here.
Oh, absolutely. 15 laps, which is a long time here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, where at tracks like Chicagoland, like we saw last week, 15 laps might have only been about 5 minutes, but at this track right here, that's 15 minutes in time, maybe a little more. So it's definitely a place that you can gain a lot of time with 15 laps. And it looks like this lap car is giving our leader of James Santoyo a little bit of trouble. And Nathan Estep has closed it down to less than 9 seconds.
Yeah, Nathan Estep's definitely running some good times right now. He's really closing in on James Santoyo right now. Well, it's James Santoyo trying to save his tires a little bit, so he'll have a little bit toward the end of the run.
That last lap, Nathan Estep was 4/10 faster than our leader, James Santoyo. So he's definitely eaten into that lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this lap traffic James Santoyo's going through right now, Nathan Estep's going to have to go through that same stuff. And you're starting to see him come into the picture when we're looking at him now. And oh, there's a spinner, so that's one less car Nathan Estep has to go through.
It looks like he's got himself going again, so he
Yeah,
is
but he's
ducking
gonna
into
drop
pit
it down
road.
Pit road. And
Yeah.
that last lap, I believe it started at like 9 seconds. It's down at 8.3. He ran a 1:12.6. Our leader, James Santoyo, ran a 1:13.2. So Santoyo's he's running some good lap times. It's just Nathan Estep's found something in that car, and he's able to use it up.
I think what he's getting is just more laps on this track. So I think that's what the benefit is right now. Is these guys are getting more laps. They're figuring out where they can maybe go a little harder, where they need to ease up a little bit to make the lap the best that they can. Is James Santoyo comes through the carousel and heads down toward turn 10. Here comes Nathan Estep. He also coming through the carousel, and he's headed in toward turn 10. So he lost a little bit on this lap. He's lost about 3/10. He was at 8.3. He's now at 8.6.
Yeah, and I don't think we're done with lap traffic either, so that could be something to watch. But this is almost reminding me of the Cup race last year at Watkins Glen, where Chase Elliott was closing in on Larson, but it just wasn't enough time.
Yeah, he just ran out of time, and at this looks like he lost a little bit on that lap. He's dropped back to about almost 9 seconds now, in second place. So it looks like he gains a little bit on one lap, and then James Santoyo pulls it out. on the next lap. So maybe James Santoyo's found something and he's picked the pace back up.
Well, that last lap was Santoyo's first lap with a clean track in a long time. So that might be why Nathan Eastep was closing in there.
As we're coming down to 11 laps to go when we get the line this time.
Yeah, and through that pit cycle, we only have 5 cars on the lead lap now. First is James Santoyo, second Nathan Eastep, third David Orfano, fourth Chris Bendel, fifth Jonathan Cogswell. Looks like some guys got back on the lead lap that last lap. Greg Wood, Angel Santiago, and Bill Sleep. Actually, no, it was just that top 5 that was on the lead lap. But something strange, Santoyo had a 10-second lead just a couple laps ago, and now Nathan Eastep has brought it back to 7 seconds.
Yeah, I noticed coming out of the S's there that Santoyo slowed down. I'm not sure what happened, but it cost him about 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, and this is the closest Eastep's been, I think, this whole race. Maybe since lap 1. Maybe this car is just not handling right for James Santoyo. And Nathan Eastep's at 7.2.
Okay. James Santoyo got a little loose coming out of the S's that last lap, so that's where he lost his time. He was able to save it, but it looks like that's where he lost his time.
And now he's getting caught behind the 15 of Nathan Luck in the S's. He is just not having a good time through these S's.
Yeah, that's definitely not where you want to catch somebody that's coming through the S's. If you can catch them before or after, you're okay. But Nathan Eastep is going to get it below 7 seconds, looks like maybe on this lap.
Yeah, it looks like he didn't have the best of bus stops there, but that's fine. And
Did lose about a half a second, it looks like.
yeah, but still, like, he's closer than he has been all race. And
Absolutely,
if Santoyo has maybe 2 or 3 more of those loose wiggles out of the S's, Eastep is right back in it.
Oh, absolutely. And he's, right now he's the only he can see James Santoyo. So
Just
definitely
like a rabbit to chase.
that's right. But sometimes that can hurt you. Sometimes, seeing that car and makes you want to go a little faster, and you could overdrive a corner and that could hurt your lap. So you just want to keep doing what you're doing. Anything can happen here with 9 laps to go.
Yeah, it can, and it looks like Nathan Eastep's starting to get pulled on again by James Santoyo. What a dominating performance by him, as we're less than 10 laps to go now. So is it too little too late for Nathan Eastep?
Well, we just, that's why we run the laps. We anything can happen. He could well hop it going into 1 or anything like that. We definitely don't want that to happen. We don't wish anything bad on anybody. But, anything can happen at these tracks. But just like in real life, 9 car tonight certainly is strong here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, he is, but if it weren't for some troubles, Greg Wood would have been right up there battling with him. A lot of these guys that have maybe not had the best nights are still managing to put it in the top 10.
Absolutely, and just as we said earlier, surviving is the key. So, and here, not too awful long, he's going to be catching the 5th place car, Jonathan Cogswell.
Yeah, and something will be interesting to see will Cogswell play nice, or will he um, hold up James Santoyo a little bit?
Well, I think that's the one thing about this series. These guys respect each other, and they know. I think that Cogswell knows that Santoyo's the leader, and I don't think he'll be as hard. But it does look like James Santoyo's got that lead up to about 9 seconds again, so he's made that 2.5 seconds up that he lost a couple laps ago.
Yeah, and that's good to see. Um, but it looked like Nathan Eastep might have gained a little bit of time on entry of that corner he was going through, but then just loses on exit. It's almost like he's not able to get the front and rears hooked up at the same time, and it's really costing him.
Yeah, it's costing him some time. Like I've told you before, sometimes you have to slow down to go fast. So as we have another car there taking turn one just a little wide, that sort of messes up Nathan Eastep's line. Cost him a little bit more time.
Yeah, and I think what it's going to take for Nathan Eastep here is just a couple mistakes by Eastep, or not Eastep, Santoyo, and even then, I don't know, it's a big gap at this point.
Well, Joseph, how about we do a through the field here with 7 laps to go? Sort of see where everybody's favorite driver's running.
So first we got James Santoyo from Tunnel Hill, Georgia.
In second place, we have Nathan Eastep.
Third, we got David Orfano. Fourth, we got Christopher Pendell. Fifth, we got Jonathan Cogswell. Sixth, we got Greg Wood. Seventh, Angel Santiago. Eighth, Bill Sleep. Ninth, John McIntyre. And 10th, Stephen Harper. 11th,
George Kovacic. And 12th, we have the number 60 of Zach Woods. And 13th, we have David Mayo in the 08. 14th, Nathan Luck in the 15 with that golf paint scheme.
And 15th, we got Zachary Cleek. I believe the rest of these guys are off the track at this point. Unfortunate night for these guys, but hopefully they'll be able to rebound next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Looks like James Santoyo should be within about 3 or 4 seconds of catching that 27 at Cogswell. We'll have to see if that holds him up and allows Nathan Eastep to catch him as we're on 5 laps to go. It'll be 4 laps to go when we get back around to the line.
I mean, James Santoyo has just been on a different level this whole night. Nathan Eastep had a little bit for him there at the start of this run, but maybe he just wasn't pushing as hard, Santoyo, and he's really starting to make him pay.
Well, I think the key here is Santoyo is just running clean laps, lap after lap. He had that one mistake coming out of the S's, but he's not gotten off track. He's kept his car clean and just running nice, smooth laps.
Now, as we're winding down to 4 laps to go, we would like to thank our sponsor, Hoosier Conveyor Company, located in Knightstown, Indiana. Hoosier Company was born from the Hoosier Feeder Company family to help corner the market in automation and feeder industry. Our products and services help companies take the next step to automate their production line. We help to handle the first stage in production line by feeding, separating, and orienting the product so that it may begin its journey. We also help with any conveying solutions to help move their product from one stage to the next. Hoosier Conveyor Company is an integrator in the United States for Dorner, meaning not only we can provide you equipment you need, but we can also custom tailor it for your specific needs. Now also, not having the best night Greg Wood, but go to Post Graphics on Facebook. They have vehicle wraps, signs, banners, stickers, decals, iRacing wraps, and race control. Just go to Post Graphics on Facebook or Greg Wood for more details.
It looks like Greg Wood had another incident there.
Yeah, unfortunate night for him. Had a lot of promise. Just didn't go the way he had planned. Ran into some bad luck and, well, he's sitting 15th right now. Not the greatest of days for him, but he's been fast every week. He'll get him a win eventually. Oh, and we got a car stopped out of the
Oh, James
carousel.
Santoyo gets a little loose coming out of the carousel.
Yeah, there was a car stopped there and almost messed him up there, and that could have been bad if he had not seen him and ran into him.
Here we come to get 2 laps to go.
Yeah,
2 more circuits around this track.
let's go on board with our leader, James Santoyo, to see what exactly he's doing. So staying in third gear through turn 1. Interesting to see, maybe helping him with drive off, because me personally, I go to second gear there. I think that might be what his secret is, just not using a lot of gears, helping conserve the tires.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the key there, like you said, conserving those tires, getting down to second gear, you have more chance to wheel hop and things of that nature. Just going down to third and letting the gearing slow the car down. He's able to keep that momentum up and not get down, slow down as much, and he's able to roll that momentum all the way through. So he's definitely not had to shift as much as the other drivers tonight. As we're coming here to turn 10, he'll hit turn 11, and then he'll take the white flag after this dominating performance tonight by James Santoyo.
Yeah, he has led, I believe, since like lap 7. That's pretty impressive to me. He got by Greg Wood after Greg Wood tagged the wall, but after that, Santoyo hasn't been touched or seen by anybody else until he was lapping him.
Here he comes up to the S's one last time, and he'll head down toward the bus stop. He's gonna get close to the machine to Bill Sleep, but I don't think it's going to matter as he has a 12-second lead on Nathan Estep.
As long as he doesn't spin it or do anything like that, he pretty much has it locked up. Coming out of the carousel, heading in to turn 10. Then he'll go into the right-hand corner of turn 11, and he'll cross the start-finish line. And he'll come across here, turn it into turn 11, and he'll win at Watkins Glen. What a dominating performance, leading 33 laps and not even being touched after that. Man, what a dominating performance.
Absolutely. Stage 1, stage 2, and the race swept out. I mean, it's maximum points. So congratulations to James Santoyo. Also, congratulations to Nathan Estep coming home second. And it looks like David Lorfano will come home third tonight.
Man.
Just a dominating performance tonight.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure was. And just so great for him to be able to finally get it done. And once he gets through with his burnouts, we'll get him up here in the booth. But until then, let's go ahead and go through our race results.
And our winner, James Santoyo. Coming home second tonight, Nathan Estep in the 55. And then home in third is David Lorfano in the 8 car. Coming home fourth, Jonathan Cogswell. Coming home fifth, Angel Santiago in that 90 machine.
6th, we got Bill Sleep. 7th, we got Christopher Pendell. 8th, we got John McIntyre. 9th, we got Stephen Harper. 10th, we got George Koviak. 11th, David Mayo. 12th, we got Nathan Luck. 13th, we got the 60 of Zach Woods. 14th, Zachary Cleek. 15th, Greg Wood. 16th, David Modespal. 17th, Ira Kohlhaas. And 18th, Nolan Poncherband.
Coming home in 19th is Craig Sassamon. In 20th, Ron Morris Jr. And 21st is Andrew Hurley. 22nd, Josh Pontbriand. Todd Cleek coming home 23rd. And then 2 cars that did not start tonight. Steve Rada in 3rd will finish 24th. And the 3 car will finish 24th. And Dayron Amat will finish 25th.
Yeah, and what a performance by Ira Kohlhaas. Let's try to get our 3rd place finisher, David Orfano, in here real quick. Hey Dave, this is the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you. You got me?
Man, congratulations on finishing P3 there. Not the performance that you might have wanted, but P3 nonetheless. What do you think you could have done there to maybe just keep up with James Santoyo?
I think we might have lost him, Joseph.
No, sorry about that. You got me now?
That's okay. Yeah, we got you, David. So anything different you could have done to keep up with that 9 car? He certainly was fast all night long.
No, the 9 was class of the field tonight. There was no catching them. These races, they get strung out at the road courses with no yellows, so it's hard to make up a ton of ground. So just try to stay consistent, keep it on track, and hope somebody makes a mistake, and you can kind of capitalize on it. It's kind of the way these races go.
Well, congratulations on a 3rd place run tonight, David. And anybody you want to shout out tonight or thank?
Again, thank Angel for letting me join this league and have some fun with these guys. And Lucky Dog Detailing is my primary sponsor. And I think we're off next week, so nice little break.
Absolutely. Everybody be watching the 500 next weekend. So enjoy the week off, and we'll see you when we get back from the break.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome, man.
That was the
That was
8
David
of
David
David
Orfano.
Let's go ahead and get our 2nd place finisher, Nathan Estep, in here.
Hey, Nathan, it's Damon and Joseph in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey, man. So, not an eventful race, but you were sort of catching James there a little bit, and then he would stretch it back out, and you would catch him again. How were the cars tonight at Watkins Glen?
They were fun to drive. Kind of felt like a boat, to be honest to me. It was just hard to get through the corners and hard to stop. But yeah, I noticed a few times on the relative I'd knock like half a second off, and then the next lap he'd pick up another second. So just kind of, yeah, like back and forth, back and forth. So He was definitely the class of the field tonight. He deserved to win. I mean, he's deserved to win like the last like 3 road courses we've done. So I'm glad he finally got one.
That's awesome. Uh, yeah, you guys, I think if maybe if you started a little closer to the front, you made a run toward the front there and picked off several cars, and I think there was a little incident there between you and Greg Wood. I think his braking point was just a little earlier than everybody else's, and that may have been what caused that. But other than that, the race was pretty clean, and you had a great run tonight. So anybody you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah. Just want to thank my wife first and foremost for letting me do this a few times a week. Then want to thank my sponsors. We got Circle B Diecast, Plan B Sales, Old Timer Hat Company, and Blackwater Suds. If you use promo code Deep Racing, that's all capitals and no spaces on any of those websites. The 2 diecast sites, you get free shipping on all orders of $20 or more. And the other 2 sites, you get 10% off of every order.
Sweet. Well, thanks for sharing that with all our viewers and with us. We appreciate that. So enjoy the week off next week, Nathan, and we'll see you when we get back from the break.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks for broadcasting, guys.
You're welcome, man. Congratulations on a second place run,
Yeah. Have a good night.
too. So that was Nathan Eastep. Let's see if we can find our winner. Well, I'm not seeing him in the Discord, Joseph.
Let's see here. Let's try to get him in here. Not seeing him in the Discord, but we'll wait for a little bit, see if he wants to get an interview.
We can go ahead and go through the rundown.
Well, I think we already went through the finishing results.
Well, impressive victory by the 9 of James Santoyo tonight. You know, as Nathan Eastep said, he certainly was deserving of the win tonight. He certainly was the class of the field. So congratulations to him and his team. And we'll see if we can't get him a little time next week and or when we get back from the break. Everybody will be taking a little break from the Kool-Aid Monster Cup Series next week. Everybody be able to enjoy the races next week, the duels on Thursday, the truck race on Friday, and Xfinity on Saturday, and then we have the Daytona 500 next Sunday. So looking forward to that. But we want to thank everyone for watching this evening, and we will see you when we come back from the break for some more exciting action with the Kool-Aid Monster Cup Series.
Yeah, thank y'all for watching, and we'll get James Santoyo in here next time, but for now, that's all. Peace.
Have a great week.